All right. Hello, everyone. Give me something in the chat if you can hear me. It's my first live stream in quite a while, so technologically, I'm really hoping I got everything right, but we'll see. I can see you. Rich is here. I gotta get the chat here so I can answer you guys. It's too late to be drinking coffee. I sincerely disagree with that. But if you have to go decaf, then, I mean, you do what you gotta do. Zeke's here, Ricardo's here. Everybody's here. What is going on? How is everybody? Leave it in the chat where what time it is where you're at, because I know one of the tough things about doing these live streams is figuring out what time to do them, because we got some people across the pond. It's about 6 o'clock here, which is not so bad. It's still just early enough to be able to secure the cup. Mr. Camera Junkie in the building. It's been a while. Long-time live stream viewer. Face is in and out of focus. Looks pretty glued on to me. I don't know. 6 p.m. in Calgary. Yeah, it is 6 p.m., 8 p.m. 1 a.m. in the UK. There we go. Those are the diehards. What are you doing up, Richard? If you tell me you're here just for me, that's too kind. So if you don't already know, if you haven't been to one of these before, it has been a little while, but I used to do these live streams called Coffee Break with Dunna Did It, and I would get you guys to submit some photos, and then I would just kind of edit them. And so that's what we're going to do here today, and maybe you'll get some insight on, like, you know, getting into my brain, the way that I edit and stuff. Maybe you'll learn some stuff about the software that I'm using, which now is Capture One. And maybe we'll just hang out and have some coffee and have some fun. And if you guys want to ask questions in the chat, I'll try and keep up with that. And yeah, if you guys want to be in the chat and you want to be active, that's cool. If you want to just chill and listen to the music and listen to me babble and watch, that's cool too. Super chats are always appreciated. You can bribe me with coffee money if you want to try and move your photo up to the top of the list of getting done. In the past, I think the most I ever made it through in one, like, 2-hour session was like 8 photos, maybe 10 photos kind of thing. And I've got, I think, 31 here. I already culled it down a little bit. Let me show you guys my screen here. I already culled it down a little bit because we had some people that were submitting multiple photos, which is a no-no. It says on the submission page, only one, please. So if you did submit multiple photos, chances are I went through and picked my favorite of the two. And I'm just going to kind of like pick at random. Like I said, if you want to bump yours up, Super Chat's the way to do that. If you got a question, a burning question you want me to try and answer, Super Chat's a great way to get my attention. And feed my coffee addiction. So, what camera am I using for this stream? This is my FX3 with the 16-35 f2.8, and all the tunes that were here and here are all my tunes, because apparently you can't use music bed songs in a live stream. Look at that. First up, we got Zeke with the $20 super chat. Thanks, man. I think you got a photo in here. Where are you? Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Oh yeah, you warned me about this one. Where's this? What's this called again, Zeke? Let me know. let the people know. So I have my little form that I have you guys fill out online with that like says like, tell me a little bit about your photo. And then always, every single time at the last minute, I just like forget to like actually go through and try and match up like which photo goes with which story and like learn about the photos and stuff. I just get like really caught up in the technical side of trying to get a live stream to not fall apart here. All right, we got Zeke's photo here. You guys seeing that okay? Okay, first things first, let's do a little croppy crop. Just maybe get this like just a little tighter. This is a crooked road. Cypress tree tunnel in Marin, California. So for those of you who have seen one of these episodes before, I used to do all my editing in Lightroom and Photoshop. Now, as you can see, I'm in Capture One, and when I need it, Photoshop, but I need it a little bit less for sure. And so it might look a little bit different, but a lot of the tools are kind of similar. There's just some really cool things that I like in Capture One. And the first thing that I like to do, because just to see what happens, is there are these 4 auto buttons on white balance, exposure, HDR, and levels. And if I just go one after the other, I like to just see where it gets me. And then I don't like that at all. So I'm going to undo half of them. Also, it's kind of hard to edit with a light in your face like this. You guys will probably hear me just like jamming along to my own tunes here. What do we got colors wise here? Is that sky gone? Let's check my exposure here. Yeah, I think the sky's fully gone. What do I think of Luminar AI and Neo? I used Luminar back in the day. I think it was just Luminar 4 at the time, and it was really cool. It was like a cool, like, quick solution that like didn't necessarily have as many like bells and whistles and like specific control, but it had some really cool tools and some really cool like automatic stuff. Mark wants to know, do you prefer the moody look in edits? I'm back and forth. Right now, I've been going a lot less moody lately. And like lots more color and like, you know, just the kind of like going all out with it. Whereas like, I think like a year ago, I was all about the moody cinematic stuff. I think this photo is going to be moody and cinematic, but I kind of go back and forth. I feel like now I've kind of like, I'm honing my craft a little bit more with editing where I can kind of pick and choose. Whereas like, I feel like before, and I'm sure that a lot of you can attest to this too, is like for a while, you're kind of a bit of a one-trick pony of like whatever you happen to be learning at the time. And silence for a second while I think really hard. Also, I probably look really grumpy the whole time, where I'm just like furrowed brow. But really, that's just me like trying to squint really hard so I can see my monitor. and so that I can, I don't know, I think it makes it, I pretend like it makes me see better, I guess. A little bit of that, the curve there that you guys might know. What do we used to, Mr. Camera Junkie? We used to, was that Dunna curve? Is that what we called it? With the little fade at the bottom? Mr. Camera Junkie said, congrats on the move. Thank you. It's 3 weeks away, and then I'm going to be out on the West Coast. I'm ridiculously excited. Let's pull back the clarity. Just a hair of dehaze, and then I'm going to bring my brightness back up a little bit. It's looking decent so far. Let's do some things with the colors here. There's really only like 2 colors in this photo. It's like this green, maybe that kind of yellow in the back, and then this kind of orangey yellow here. So let's see what we can do. So if you haven't seen the video that I posted this week, check this out, okay? So this is the basic color editor. And here I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what my video was this week. So this is like HSL panel, if you're used to that kind of thing. So I can go in here and like take my orange and change it, or my yellow, sorry, and I can take my orange and change it. But if I want to, I can go up into, sorry, where is it? Ah, there it is. I don't know where my own buttons are. And I can actually adjust where those things are. So like right now, I want kind of all of this bottom part to be under orange. And so I'm gonna move that over a little bit, and it's gonna encapsulate a little bit more. Something like that. And now, like you can see, it's like in the trees and it covers the whole ground. So now when I move orange around, it's doing all of that stuff, which is kind of cool. And then the other thing that I want to do real quick here, I'm going to make a new filled adjustment layer. So that's going to affect the whole thing. I'm actually going to go into the skin tone tool, and I'm going to choose this kind of orangey color down here. And narrow this down a little bit so I'm just affecting the parts that I want. And then I'm gonna bring up the hue uniformity. And all that's gonna do is it's gonna make that, the yellow and the orange that are down at the bottom, it's gonna make them a little bit more kind of the same. And that video is coming out later this month. Just, it's subtle, but it's there. Somebody asked where I'm moving. I am moving to Victoria, British Columbia, over on the west coast of Canada, which is one of the greatest places that I've ever been on Earth. It's pretty darn fantastic there. My wife and I have been going there for 10 years or something like that, like on our, like all our like vacations and stuff. That's like the place that we go. And so it's been kind of in the works for a long time to try and figure out a way that we can make it make sense to move out there. And it's finally happened. My wife has gone back to school, and I'm just gonna keep doing this. All this YouTube-y stuff. Maybe a little bit too much on the green there. I don't know, guys. What do we think? Should I try and clone out these people? I don't know if I'll be able to do it. No, that's not gonna work. You can't see him anyway. Let's do a little bit of analyzing, see if we can get rid of a little bit of that chromatic aberration. And then I think this could use a big old vignette. Push your eye into the middle there. I think that's the before and after. I might have faded the blacks out a little too much. A little too hard on the Dunna curve there. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't need that. This is something that I always come back to nowadays. I was a little too hard on the fades. Kelby says, I'm not going to lie, Dunna, bit bummed you're heading out west. I'm from Saskatchewan, and I was going to try and link up with you this summer to shoot some photos or something for fun. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of an isolated individual regardless. I don't generally shoot with a lot of people, so me moving out west is not making much of a difference for how much I'm shooting with people. But yeah, I've got a couple of those messages, people from Edmonton who are like, oh no, we're losing our Edmonton YouTuber. So I apologize, I guess. I don't know. I don't really apologize. I'm friggin' stoked, but sorry we didn't get to meet up and shoot. Doesn't mean it can't happen someday. I'm going to be doing a lot more moving around, I have a feeling, in the future. Okay, I think I'm done with this one. And here's the before. Wait, maybe I can go full screen on this. Oh. Or maybe Capture One will be funny on me. There we go. Okay, before and after. Before and after. There we go. From the man himself, Zeke's view. If you guys aren't following Zeke on Instagram, make sure to head over there and do that. I think it's just at Zeke's view, isn't it? Yeah. He tagged me in a story, so I knew it was going on. Okay, let me I'm gonna mark that one so that I remember to export it. And then there was, I think, Rich earlier. Was it Rich? Somebody else had a little. There it is. Yeah, Rich. A cup on me, my man. Cheers. Thank you for the super chat. If anyone is just joining us, we're editing photos, and it's fun for me. I don't want to speak for anyone else, but it's a lot of fun for me. I'm trying to get back to just the camera for a second here. There we go. Okay, let me just organize myself and we'll get picking a second photo. Or actually, we got Rich. I gotta find his photo here. Real Zag says, Dunna, I didn't see you were doing this until later, just submitted a photo. I download them about a half an hour before the live stream, because I don't want to be showing you guys my Google Drive and all that kind of stuff during the live. So I've downloaded them already. The submissions kind of stopped just before. But I'm going to be doing my best to try and do these maybe once a month, maybe every other week, depending on how I'm feeling. I mean, I have a move coming up, so I'm like gearing up to like do more this year. And then of course I'm going to move right away, and that's going to get in the way of everything, because moving is not so fun. All right, I gotta find Rich's photo in here. Rich, did you submit a photo? Oh, there it is, down at the bottom. Your name was hiding. Ooh, dark and moody. All right. Let's get into this. Gotta show you guys my screen. Live streaming, hey? Back to this again. It's been a while. There we go. So this is the photo from Rich. We got some mechanic stuff happening. That's the extent of my knowledge of vehicles and fixing them, is that this looks like it's probably mechanic stuff. There's a tool. He's hitting a car with a hammer. So first things first, I'm brightening it up a bunch because we are significantly underexposed on this. Saving those highlights for me, which is, looks like it's a Canon, so yeah, you're okay, I guess. you can underexpose a little bit. And then we gotta fix this white balance because it is yellow. Let's see if we can use this shirt. There we go. That's looking better. I can still bump that way up. I think I can go even further and then kind of bring the highlights down afterwards. Allie's here. Scouted. I like my Allie. All right, let's get in there with some contrast. These Canon skin tones, hey? Bring up some of that shadow. Kind of like that, like moody thing going on his face there. What is this shot at? ISO 800? Little contrast curve. Actually, considering how underexposed this was, even like bringing it up that much, it's pretty clean, and the colors still managed to pop really nice. Hey, a little bit of singing because I can't help myself apparently. Okay, let's try this trick. If you guys saw my video from this week, I like to do this little trick where I kind of desaturate everything and then just leave a couple of different colors. Let's make my blues a little bit more teal. Pull them down a little bit still. Okay, now the question here is, do I make the car pop more, or do I pull it out so that you focus more on our subject there? I think maybe we make it pop a little bit, but then, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add a new adjustment layer, and we're gonna call it right side. I'm gonna throw on a linear here, and then bring down my brightness on that side, so that it kind of keeps your eyes on our subject. There we go. Geez, you guys with the super chats, thank you so much. If you guys submitted photos, I will I'll try and get to it in a little bit here. All right. Let's see what we can do with a little bit of curviness here. I'm gonna fill another layer. And I'm gonna do a little bit of this. Like just a hair pink in the shadows. There we go. Here's like this is kind of like the grade stage. Looking kind of cool. A little bit of a cinematic-y kind of coloring scheme. I'm gonna crop this down a little bit. It's one of those photos. You know when you take a photo and you're like, okay, well, I got to do my 4x5 crop for Instagram. It's one of those photos that's just not wide enough to really get the crop that I want. It's also like just a hair crooked, which is going to make it even worse, unfortunately, for trying to get it exactly where I want it. This is like 98% of my photos when I'm out there shooting. It's like they're always just a little too tight and just a little crooked. So Rich, we're the same, you and I. There we go. Kyle says, get you and Megan some coffee on the move across the country. I am so excited because some of my favorite coffee roasters are in Victoria where I'm moving. So I'm going to save up all of these super chats and I'm just going to buy like a 20-pound bag of beans from them. Now that I'm looking at this photo, I think it could still be brighter. Let's see what we can do here. It's always tough because I've got my calibrated monitor on the right side and it's a lot like dimmer and like softer looking, and then I look over at my MacBook on the other screen that's showing the preview of the live stream and it's just like bam, contrast, saturation. I'm like, which one do I follow? Because I assume what you guys are seeing probably looks a little bit more like my MacBook. I don't even know what else I want to do to this. We got a pretty crazy before and after, maybe a little vignette. I'm just like a vignette crazy kind of person, you know? I might need to go custom on this one though. So I'm just gonna grab another adjustment layer. A little shorthand for vignette. And I'm gonna make a little custom vignette just around our subject here. Oh, I gotta invert. There we go. And maybe since we went with like the kind of cinematic-y coloring, maybe I'll also kind of do a bit of a little fade on it. I haven't heard a lot of these like beats in a long time. Okay, now one more thing that we can do. This is one of my favorite tools in Capture One is the skin tone tool. Because our mechanic here with the hammer on the car, I'm still trying to figure out what you'd be doing with a hammer on a car. You see, like, normal human skin tone looks kind of like this. He's got some pink, he's got some orange, he's got some yellow, that kind of stuff. What I want to do is kind of even it out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is go into the skin tone tool. I'm going to grab the eyedropper, and I'm going to pick a part that, like, kind of looks like a nice neutral skin tone. I can see the color that I picked down there. And then it'll show me all of the colors in the photo that are within my range here, and then I can kind of uniform them out a little bit. I guess I did this in the first photo. I just did it on grass instead of skin tone. But then what happens is that, like, you can see the color of these boards in the back is too much too. So I'm actually going to clear the mask, and then I'm going to go in and just paint on the mask onto his face here. Just where I want it. I'm going to avoid the lips because I don't want my lips to be the same color as everything else. I'm just going to get kind of the skin of his face there. And it's like a really subtle kind of thing, but you can see like kind of a before and after here. So before, you can see how pink his ear is compared to the rest of the skin. And then when I turn it on, it just kind of neutralizes it a little bit. His arm is already pretty consistent. Maybe there's a little bit of pink here. So I could kind of draw a little bit of the mask on there. And then maybe over here where it's getting the reflection of the red car. But I think this is looking pretty good. He was replacing the lug studs that hold the wheel on the car. You just spoke a different language, my friend. I don't know what you just said. I should probably know what lug studs are, but Mike Bray says, "What's up, Dunna? Congrats on the move." Thank you so much. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out. So this is Rich's photo of our lug stud nut replacer. This is the before, and then we got the after. I think that's looking, we got a little bit of a teal and orange thing going on there just because of the colors that happen to be in the photo. That's kind of cool. We got the blue jeans there and then the orange skin tone and the wood in the background. I like this one. That turned out nice. Okay. Let me just mark that one up so that I remember to export it afterwards. Did I do that right? I did it right. I can go back to me. Hey, I'm learning, you guys. I'm learning. Lug nuts hold the wheel onto the lug studs. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm there with you. I get it. Real Zag says, "Whoa, the skin tone feature is nice." I agree, 100%. Like I said, I have a video coming out about the advanced color editor and the skin tone editor later this month that I did with Capture One, and I think that honestly was probably one of the biggest tools that made me switch from Lightroom to Capture One. Really, really stoked about that tool. It's so handy, and not just for skin tone, as the name would suggest. But again, that video is coming. If you didn't catch my my video on the basic color editor or the HSL tool, make sure to check that out because it's a good primer going into the second one there. I am way behind on the chat. I'm probably missed a lot of it, but you guys are pretty good at answering each other's questions and stuff. So I think next I saw Allie with the super chat in there, and I know Allie submitted a photo because I had to unzip it. Who's that technologically savvy that they put in a zip file? Allie is. Let's find that. That's scouted for anyone who has no idea what I'm talking about. Let's see, where is Allie's photos? There. Okay. This is cool. It's a moody, angry tree in the background. Nice summer camping photo with the angry, gnarly tree in the background. I like it. Dunna, how much will a 20-pound bag set you back? Oh, for coffee? Well, I bought a 5-pound bag recently, and it was like 80 bucks, I think. So that's Canadian. So that's like, I don't know, like $8 American? I don't know. 20-pound bag of coffee. Yeah, that'd be a good one. The problem is that the blend, the roast that I really like, sold out really quickly. So I got to figure something else out. Okay, so Allie here is protecting the highlights. You see the nice blue skies? Nice and underexposed for me so that I can then crank it up and have room to not blow out the highlights like I just did. The trick here is that it's actually brighter on this little kitchen trailer, than it is in the background. So that's going to be fun to deal with. Let's do a little croppy crop here first. Instagram crop. See, that's what I'm talking about. Joseph asked where he could drop the photos, and you guys are right there for me answering. Submissions are done for today, but just keep your eyes out on my social media for when I announce new versions of this, because I'm going to try and do it again every once in a while. cryptic. Just realized they submitted a JPEG. I almost went through and deleted all the JPEGs. Almost. Very close. I was like, that's kind of, no, I won't do that, just in case. I don't want to be that guy. But we used to, before when we were doing these lives, it used to always be kind of a joke that I would get upset, quote unquote upset. Not really upset, but I would get grumpy when I had to try and edit JPEGs. It's deceiving because I think it's hard to tell what color this is supposed to be. There's so much like yellow and brown around that it's like, is it too warm? But then the sky is looking so blue. Let's see what happens if I hit auto. Nope. Nope, not it. Not happening. Let's see what we can do here with some colors. Let's make my blue a little more teal and desaturate the heck out of it. All of this yellow. Let's bump up some orange a little bit. Make the yellow a little bit more orange. This is a tough one. Allie, what are you trying to do to me here? I gotta unfurrow my brow, or I'm gonna get stuck that way. That's what my mom used to always tell me when I make funny faces. What is going on here? We got some backpacks. It's like a really it's got like a desert vibe to it with all the like yellow and brown. But then there are these little pops of color that kind of give you an insight to like just how desaturated everything else actually is. Not the dreaded JPEG, says Real Zag. The JPEG. Editing JPEGs. I get halfway through it sometimes, editing a JPEG, and like just realize that when I realize that it's a JPEG, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense why like when I'm doing things, they don't look like they're reacting the way that I know they should. What are these strange emojis that you're using, Allie? I can't, it's so small on my screen, I can't really see it, but it looks like an electrified brain with eyes. Okay. I think color-wise, that might be like, we got a tan tent. I assume that's supposed to be tan. We got a tan case, tan everything. Which I guess for like camping kind of makes sense. But for photography, it makes it a little tough. Let's vignette the crap out of it. I think I might need a new layer here. Okay. I got a little quick command for new layer on my little controller here. If you're wondering how I did that so quickly. Let's lower the ground. Let's make another new layer and another graduated filter coming from the top. I'm actually going to bring up the brightness so that we can kind of like brighten up the sky a little bit. There we go. And then bring down my vignette again. Actually, I might need to custom vignette again. Let's go. Gotta rename things, you know, keep organized. Foreground, top, and then let's call this vignette. And we'll make a bit more of a circle around our star of the show here. Oh, I did it again. I had to invert that mask. Let's just make this a little bigger. Nice thing too about doing like a custom vignette like that is that you can mess with more than just whatever the program thinks a vignette should be. So I can do like, I could take away some contrast out of those areas too, so it kind of brings your attention to the center. Then the other thing that I like to do is to make a layer that I call focus. And what I'll do is I'll borrow the mask from the vignette, but then invert it. So like if we're looking at the masks, my focus is just the subject. The vignette is everything but that. And then I can kind of bump the contrast and the brightness a little bit so that, again, it's kind of drawing your eye to the center a little bit more even. And then I think maybe a little Dunna curve here. Maybe just kind of fade out those super bright whites up there a little bit. Let's see how far we've come. It's got kind of like a filmy vibe to it. We could even like add some grain to it and make it real filmy. Let's get the, I don't know if you guys can see that down there, silver rich. And then I'm just gonna bring it up a little bit. There we go. Let's go camping, everybody. Okay. So, Allie, scouted. Here's our before and our after. Before and after. Shadows in this look amazing, says, I apologize. I'm not going to try and pronounce your name because I'm scared of butchering it, but thank you. I appreciate that. Very cool. Fantastic photo. Very your style, Allie. I'm going to mark that one. Dun, 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 dun. Nox King says, thoughts on Lightroom versus Capture One? Well, I mean, as you can tell, I'm now using Capture One. I have been for almost a year now, and I kind of didn't say anything about it for nearly a year, and then I made a video of why I was switching. I really like it's powerful. It's got lots of really cool tools. Lots of them are similar to Lightroom. Like they do a lot of the same things, but things like the skin tone tool and the layers are huge advantages, in my opinion, to Lightroom. So I'm super stoked on it. I've been really enjoying it, and now I'm working with Capture One a bunch on some videos throughout the year. Hopefully, anyway. I did one this week. If you haven't seen it yet. And then I've got one coming out later this month, and hopefully we can continue that and do kind of cover a lot of the major tools in Capture One throughout the year, and I can put together a playlist because it's kind of an underserved thing right now on YouTube. There just aren't a lot of like really solid, or not a lot of options as far as like different people to learn from when it comes to Capture One. And I really think it's super powerful. It's really fast. I think that's one of the things that I like about it over Lightroom is it's a lot quicker, especially on, I mean, everything's fast on my new computer, but it is pretty awesome. Okay. I am getting behind there. There were a bunch of super chats a little earlier I got to thank people for. Danny, thank you so much for the super chat. Kyle was there too. Oh yeah, Kyle was suggesting the coffee. Thank you guys so much. Again, if any of you are just joining us, I'm editing your photos like that one. And super chats are definitely appreciated, not necessary, but I do take bribes for coffee money, and that'll bump your photo up if you did submit it. If you didn't submit a photo and you still want to give one, you can do that, but you don't have to. It's totally up to you. Okay, let me see if Danny submitted one here. Later, Mike. Thanks for coming out. Mike. Do we have a mic? I don't see Mike in here. Mike, if you're still here, or no, not Mike. Who am I looking for here? Danny. I was saying goodbye to Mike. I got distracted. Danny, if you're still kicking around, let me know if you submitted a photo. I just found it. Never mind. This is a cool photo. What is this? Is it a deer? What kind of deer is this? Where was this taken, Danny? Manly says, how's your heart, bro? I remember you had a heart thing a minute ago. My heart is healthy AF, as the kids said once. I don't know if they still do. I'm good. I'm great. I just got the go-ahead to come off any medication that I was on. Yeah, everything's good. The funny thing about that, so I got to the hospital, I got checked out, and I was in the hospital for a couple of days, just so that they could kind of observe me. But really, by the time that I got through like the waiting room, like the couple hours that I was in the emergency room waiting room, I pretty much felt better after that. Like I never had any more episodes while I was in the hospital, but they have to observe me for a while before they can let me go, like safely kind of thing. Okay, we're cutting off the hooves here. But yeah, long story short, I am fantastic now. I have been given the go ahead to like get back to like full exercise and such. So I'm very excited about that because I'm getting back in the gym and running and exercising again. And yeah, I'm feeling good. This is a beautiful photo. It's really like simple, but I really like it. I might kind of zoom in a little bit though. Just crop in a little bit. Maybe we can kind of rule of thirds our... no, I don't want to chop off that much of the body. We can go the other way. But there are those friends in the background. It's tough to know what to do here. I think maybe just kind of eye line there. Get it on the rule of thirds. Rich is singing Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do in the chat if anyone wants to join him. Okay, it might be a little bit warm. It's kind of nice, but no, I kind of liked it a little warmer. But all this like blue and stuff down here, I think I want to get rid of that. Let's go with like a more kind of just like isolated color kind of thing. Also, before I get too far, because I get a little caught up as I'm moving along here, thank you all for submitting and stuff. I really appreciate that you guys even want to be a part of this. These have always been a lot of fun for me, and the only reason that I stopped doing them was just because I just didn't have the time before. Why is that blue not going away? What color are you? It's saying that it's green. Okay, let's get my yellow looking a little more orange. We're going to make this a little bit more of a fall looking photo than I think it probably actually was. Simple Outdoors says, we submit because we care. That's really sweet. That is the best response I could have asked for. You're all so nice. We got a hello from Russia, Sleep Sage. What time is it in Russia right now? Is it tomorrow? Are you living in the future? Let's get this just a little brighter. And then I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new layer here, but I'm not going to fill it in. I'm just going to kind of brush over my subject here a little bit, right on the face. There we go. Just want to be able to see our friend here. I'm going to get this little shadow included in here. Also, hey, while I'm thinking about it, how's the volume of the music in the background? That was something that I was struggling with knowing what to do. Hey, Jan is here. Janet, sorry, I can't even speak. From Tamron. What was the last beat? I like it. All of these beats are beats that I made. So I've got it on shuffle right now, so I'm not sure what that last one was called, but I'm gonna bring up the shadow. But thank you. I appreciate that that you like it. Okay, so let's see what that looks like before and after. Maybe just a little bit of extra contrast in the face too. So we're just kind of drawing the eye into the face, and I might even sharpen it up just a touch so that we're really looking towards that face. This was a A7 III photo, so we got 24 megapixels to work with here, and the focus looks pretty good. 400 millimeters too. What were you shooting this on, Danny? Was this like Sigma 100 to 400 or something? I guess I can look. Where is it? Camera lens. Oh no, that's not where to look. I don't look at my metadata enough. I don't know where to look. I always know what I took the photo on. I think we can probably get a little brighter. And then maybe kind of bring the middle down a little bit. Am I pushing the highlights a little bit here? Hey. Ken and JC says, we're just about to launch our YouTube channel. Thanks for all your tutorials and tips. Congratulations and best of luck. It's a lot of fun. I hope that you have as much fun with your channel as I do with mine. And I hope that you get awesome people watching the way that I do, because I like hanging out with y'all. Where is this? Oh, that might be why. I gotta go down a little bit here. Sometimes you just need a contrast curve in the like bottom third of your exposure. Now my fade's looking a little bit too much. That's cool. Might be a little oversaturated. Let's do something a little bit fun actually here. Let's go, I'm gonna make a new layer. I'm gonna make kind of like what I was doing before with like a kind of vignette around the face, but instead of vignetting like brightness, I'm actually going to take out saturation away from kind of everything except the face. Just a hair. Again, just kind of drawing your eye inward towards that face there. Okay, this is Sony's 100 to 400. Cool. Okay, I think this one's looking pretty good. Oh, I've got my tools up here. There we go. So, Danny dear, that's what I'm calling this photo. Before and after. Before and after. Somebody just said my voice could come up a little bit. Is that a little better for you guys? Before and after. Like that photo. Nox King says, hey, if you did the blue and the shadows, it would make a cooler contrast. You know what? I kind of stayed away from that. I actually pulled out all the blues out of everything on this one specifically to try and keep it. I like this kind of like, I don't know, monochromatic, I guess. It's kind of all like oranges and stuff, and everything else is faded out. Yeah. Anyway. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, as they say. Danny says, that's a beaut, man. Did me proud. Thanks for submitting again. And again to everyone who submitted. Thank you so much. We're still rocking here. We're just hitting the hour mark. In the past, I've tried to keep these to 45 minutes. I've tried to keep them to an hour, and they always run 2 hours, no matter how much I say. So I have a funny feeling like we've got another hour on our hands here. Patrick says, what kind of hat are you wearing? This is a Lululemon hat, and it's one of my favorites. What audio interface are you using for the pod mic? Oh, I guess I can switch over so you can see me. Hi, Donna from Edmonton here. Just wondering what interface you're using with the pod mic. Sounds really good. This is the Focusrite 4i4. And actually, I've got a video next Monday coming out that's my full desk tour. So like everything that I'm using, all the furniture and all the computers and that kind of stuff, as well as digital organization, how I back up my files and all that kind of stuff. So I talk a little bit more about my kind of desk setup and everything that's here. This is running through a cloud lifter though, so if it's sounding like really nice and beefy loud, that's why. But it's not nearly as quiet as this guy, the Shure SM7B that everybody uses. Hence why I'm using this one, because I knew I needed it to be a little bit louder. Nate says, how do we submit? Submissions are over for this episode, but keep an eye on my social medias, because I usually announce it a couple of days in advance, and I make a little bit of, what am I trying to say? I make a page on my webpage that you can go and submit there. But yeah, submissions for today are over. So yeah, let's find some super chats here, because I know there are a couple more yet that I got to get to. Kyle. Did Kyle submit? I don't know if I saw Kyle's name in here. Let's find out. Oh, I got to remember to mark that one. There we go. Kyle. Did you submit, Kyle? Unless you're Let's Get It, I don't think you submitted. Kyle, let me know in the chat if you're still kicking around, if you submitted a photo here. And I'm going to move on to Odell, who I know submitted a JPEG first, and like immediately, like 8 minutes after I first announced that I was doing this again, Odell was one of the first ones to submit, and then fixed it by sending me the raw version. So Odell is in here somewhere. Let me just find it. There it is. Oh yeah, this super tall, skinny one. When I first opened this up in my software, it was cropped in a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I'm gonna uncrop it to start with. And it's like this really tall, skinny version. I'm not sure why that is. It's interesting. Let's kick things off. Now that I've said that, let's kick things off by cropping it in a little bit. It's too bad we've got this like bar down in the corner here. What is that even? It's like a railing of some sort or something. It's like, do I like having the foreground, or do I want the big V from the trees? Maybe we'll split it in the middle there somewhere. All right, some classic kind of mountain shots. Is there a mountain in there? I can see the mountains. It's hiding in the fog. What are we shooting at? f3.5. Things are just a little bit out of focus, it seems. It's tough because it's dark here, so you can't crank up that aperture to like f8 without losing even more light. You're already shooting at, well, you're at 1/800th of a second. Anyway, I'm not going to make judgments about how you shoot. That's not what we're here to do. I'm here to fix it in post. It's a little on the bluish kind of side. Let's warm it up just a little bit. Hello from Costa Rica. I'm jealous. It's like -30 here. It's probably at least a little bit warmer there. Odell says mountains were there, but you can't see because of the smoke. Oh, I thought it was just fog. You can just ever so slightly see there's like a line back there. It's funny, at different zoom levels I can see it. All right. What do I want to do with this one? What do I want to do? Let's hit the auto button and see what happens. So it wants to brighten it way up. I don't know if I'm down with that though. Let's warm it up a little bit. It just brings up the shadows a whole bunch. Okay, maybe a little bit. Let's get in there with the curves. If you guys saw my curves video, you'll know how much I love me some curves. That came out a little different than I meant it to. I think I actually pondered whether I should crack a curves joke in my curves video, and I think I came out with the decision that I was against it. But Gabriel says, what editing app are you using? If you scroll down, I got ahead of this one because I knew someone was going to ask. If you scroll down into the description, I left a frequently asked questions section in there, but this is Capture One. But there's a little link down there if you want to try it out or whatever, and a discount code that I've got through them. And also the question that I keep getting asked, where to submit your photos, I did leave that in the frequently asked questions down there as well. I knew they were coming. I knew you guys were going to ask. So this is really interesting. The smoke and or fog or whatever this is here. See how clear these trees are? And then how smoky these ones are? It's like, it looks like a disproportionate amount of haze going on. Like they're too close together to be that different in haze. Let's see what happens if I bump up the dehaze here. Yeah, it's really interesting. And it's not, I always have to double check to make sure it's not like my curves fade going on there that's making that happen. Okay, let's try some things here with colors. Where are my blues? Do I have any blues? I don't really have any blues in this photo. Teals? Let's see. What's going on? Yeah, no teals, no blues. Just the whole photo is in yellow and green. Yellow, green. Okay, let's do some fun stuff then. I'm gonna grab a new layer. I'm gonna fill it in, and then I'm gonna go to my advanced tool. Hey, this is groovy. Let's see what I got here. There we go. Let's change that color a little bit. Should we get wild with this, you guys? I gotta stop saying you guys. Such a bad habit. There we go. Hey. Okay, we got some crazy color going on in the water now. Because why not? All right. But it's also like messing with the kind of tops of the trees a little bit there too. You can see it almost looks like I'm adding chromatic aberration in there. So what we're gonna do is clear that layer off. So right now, like the mask is on the whole layer. I'm gonna clear the mask and then I'm gonna grab a brush and I'm just gonna brush in over the river. Just where I want the color. Good enough. Really make that pop. And since I brushed in a mask, I'm also going to increase the contrast of it a little bit. Bring down the shadows. Actually, I'm going to increase the shadows, but bring down the blacks. That's a little trick. If you're finding that you need more contrast, but you like only need it in the like lower end of the like exposure, if you bring up the shadows a tiny bit and down the blacks a little bit, you can kind of get that contrast, but in that section that you want it to be in. Janet says, I'm here for the beats as I'm working. You're working late. Jeez. One of the hardest working people in the camera industry. May I suggest that you go for a greenish purple split, complementary color scheme for fun. You know I like a good challenge, and we got lots of green in here, so let's see if we can fit some purple somewhere. Let's go with a filled adjustment layer. I'm gonna let me call this water. I am getting ahead of myself a little bit, but we'll call that great. I'm actually going to go back to the background really quick and finish my previous thoughts. This is the way my brain works, y'all. That was my attempt at not saying you guys. I said y'all, and it. Oh, and then Rich just said revert to y'all. It felt really weird. We don't really say y'all where I'm from. Let's get greens. Okay, that's feeling a little better. I gotta resaturate the water again there though. And let's get rid of some of the yellow going on the side of the... Let's make those rocks just like white and gray. There we go. This is looking all right. Okay, let's see what we can do about this. What was it again? Green and purple that you wanted me to try? Rich says purple. Dunna, hand me the crayon. Down, down, down. Hopefully I'm not ruining the beats for everyone when I'm just like just scatting along. It's jazz. Okay, let's go back to my grade layer. I'm gonna go my color balance. So this is like kind of split toning, if that's what you're used to hearing, but now we've got the color balance wheels here. And we'll do some purple in the shadows. It's interesting because there's so much green in this photo, when you start to add purple in, it looks like it's just desaturating things because purple is kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum of green. So like when you first start bringing up the saturation or the intensity of the purple in the shadows, it just kind of looks like it's desaturating all of these colors here. So that's interesting. What happens if I try green in the shadows and purple in the highlights? No, that's just too much. We're gonna have to be real subtle here with this. Just a little bit of purple, and then I'm gonna go highlights and go kind of a yellowy green and kind of make that. It's got like a bit of a like Matrix kind of vibe to it. It does give it like a bit of contrast for sure. I don't know if I'm into the purple though. Maybe it's just like the specific hue. If I make it kind of more of a blue, like a bluey purple or a purpley blue, that feels a little bit better for the photo. I still think maybe it's a little intense though. It still keeps catching my eye, the fog here, or the smoke. It's like I want to dehaze it so bad. I might just bump the sharpening a little bit. See if that helps stop my eye from going that way. Maybe a little bit of a vignette. There's clouds, I can see them. It's like I'm gonna try a new layer here. I'm gonna use the like auto brush and see if I can get trees are tricky for that because it's never gonna be able to get all of that in there. There we go. That's perfect. Well, fam, I think this one's looking pretty good. It's a little like edgier. So this is before, and then we got the after. That was a good challenging one because there's just so much green in this photo. Not a whole lot else going on. Very cool. This looks like Lightroom CC. This is much more powerful in my opinion. Okay. I just lost my train of thought there for a second. A little break. Do a little groove. How's everybody doing? Coffee break with Dunna Did It. If you're just joining us, thanks for coming. I don't even know how many people are in here. Can I see that somewhere? 65 people in the chat. What is up, everybody? Odell, thanks for the photo. I always got to remember, I make these mental notes before I go live where I'm like, okay, I'm going to thank everybody and I'm going to thank everybody again. And I'm going to be really kind and thoughtful the whole time. And I'm going to remember to say all these things. And then like I get halfway through and I'm just like, yeah, edit and coffee. And I got to remember everything. So that's welcome to my brain. I apologize. I'm sorry. You're welcome. All right. We had a couple more super chats. Thanks again, you guys, thanks again, everyone, for putting in your super chats and stuff. You guys are going to keep me caffeinated for a while here. I think there were a couple more yet. Richard B. This should get you part of the way. Good luck grabbing some before it sells out again. Oh, that was about the coffee that I really like that sold out. It made me a little sad. Let's see if Richard submitted a photo. Richard, if you're still kicking around, let me know so I don't go searching for something that's not there. I think so far everyone who has done a super chat also had a photo. Let's see here. Richard, are you here? Did you get it? Down. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go, let's go. I don't see one from Richard. Oh. Let me know your favorite coffee. Okay, my favorite coffee ever is from Drum Roaster Coffee Roasters. And it's a Guatemalan coffee from Mataquesquintla, Guatemala. Which is like actually a really interesting story too, and horrible. There's a Canadian mining company that is mining, I'm not even sure, silver maybe out there, and just like kind of ravaging the land and not being kind to the people that live there and stuff like that. And so this group of Canadian coffee roasters all decided to go in together and like buy a lot of this coffee from these amazing coffee farmers that are out there, and like really try and support them. And like there was this kind of big initiative around it, and to kind of raise awareness for what's going on out there. And it was totally happenstance that I was on this like coffee subscription plan where I get new coffees every month, and I ended up getting this coffee, and it just blew everything else out of the water. But they can only get it when it's in season or like when the crops come up and stuff. And so it sells out really quick because it's really good. And so when they got their last batch in, I bought like a big 5-pound bag, but I went through it in like a month because I like it so much. So here we are. Down. Doc Rock with the big super chat, $50. Figured I owe some coffees because I saved a ton on buying 2 Tamarons rather than the G Masters for the A7 IV. Mahalo and aloha. Dude, thank you so much. And then said, no photo, just want to support the man. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that, the videos are helpful. Getting that kind of feedback it just makes my day anytime that it happens. So, yeah, thank you again. That's super generous. Ricardo says, here's for coffee with a $5 super chat as well. Thank you so much. Let's see if Ricardo had one in here. Ricardo Durand. If I am saying your name for the super chat and I'm missing your photo, and it is in here, just let me know. Because a couple of them didn't have names on it. Like this person's just says, let's get it. It's also a JPEG, so I'm not mad if I don't have to edit it, but I don't see Ricardo in here, unless Ricardo is Mr. Goldstone. All right. Moving on. Oh yeah, you guys can't see my screen right now. That was a classic Dunna move right there. Always forgetting to switch so you guys can see the screen. SVHE, Sve. I don't know if there's a proper way to pronounce that. Dropped a super chat with a little unicorn, which is really exciting. I didn't know you could do that, but I'm very excited about it. Thank you so much. Definitely some coffee going in the system with that. Did you, if you're still kicking around in the chat, let me know if you submitted a photo. I don't think I saw one with that same name. So if you did submit one, let me know what the file might be called here, and we can go from there. And I think I'm caught up on super chat, so let's try and get into some other ones that are just I'm just vibing with here. I know that who did I see in the chat earlier? Someone said edit my photo. Let's see. Mohammed says, are you editing everyone's photo? Where do I submit? I probably won't get to absolutely everyone, but I'm going to try and do as many as I can before I get tired and need to go to bed. And the submissions, unfortunately, are done. So, yeah. keep an eye out for the next one. I usually do it a couple of days in advance. Ricardo said he has one. Did submit, but don't see it. Huh. That's weird. I wonder if you submitted after I had already downloaded them. I try and download them. You know, I need like 20 minutes, half an hour before I go into the stream, but hey, Ben's here. What's up, Ben? Thanks for coming by, man. I am doing well today. How are you? Alfredo says, what program are you using? This is Capture One. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. Okay, let's just get into one here, and we can chat while we do it. And let's see, what do we want here? This is kind of cool. We got a little tripod action. Oh no, that's the other way. I thought this was at the bottom here was like a tripod shadow or something like that. Let's start with a little crop here. Let's just get in on our subject. That's gonna bug me down there. Let me see what I can do about it. I got like a healing tool. Let's see if I can borrow another piece of rock here. There we go. Look at that. No more. And then there's just like an extra human here. Can we get rid of the extra human? This is a tricky one. This might have to be a couple at a time here. This is one of the very few places where I do every once in a while hop into Photoshop, is to do this kind of stuff. Why are you doing this to me? Cyberquad vid. I saw that, Ben. So if you guys aren't familiar with Authentic Ben there, he does lots of really cool videos on these like electric scooters, and he's got one with it's Elon Musk. Why am I drawing a blank on the name? Tesla Cyberquad thing. It's pretty wild. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Well, that didn't work. I had to pull from somewhere else. That didn't work either. I just want this person out of my photo. Or not my photo, but out of this photo. Is that too much to ask? I'm so close. Didn't work. Got a funny little spot there. Just got to fix that one little tiny part. on the rock there. Dang it. It's so close. Is there somewhere else I can pull from? Let's see. How noticeable is that? I think we're good. I think we're safe here. I'm spending way too much time trying to get rid of this human. But we gotta clean things up a little bit. Okay, now I can get to the important stuff. Let's keep this real nice and toasty warm. And so let's go into our curves. If you guys saw my curve video, you'll know this little trick that I like to do. I pull down on the blue curve, and in this case, a little bit on the green curve too, to kind of fix the white balance in the shadows and get rid of some of those blues. What's the edit in? It is in Capture One, as the people have spoken. Thanks for backing me up, everybody. Every time I make a move, that person shows back up again and then disappears. It's like the computer is like loading. It's probably a lot on the computer right now to be doing this whole stream and editing and this is tasty though. I like this photo. The sun peeking right there is super nice. The only catch right now is that there is like just a hair of this center section that's like fully blown out gone, and so when I bring it down, you can see the parts that they turn to gray instead of coming down. That's too bad. Because then you get it's not that that's like a bad thing necessarily, but then if I try and overdo it with pulling my highlights back or whatever, you get these funny kind of lines going on. So then you have to try and be a little bit gentle with it, which sometimes is okay. But let's get into the curves here. It's like I kind of want it to be a bit of a silhouette kind of thing. And then Placebo says, love your videos, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate it. Real Zag says, Photoshop is nice to remove stuff. Yeah, Photoshop, that's like the one time that I go into Photoshop. Or like if I'm adding like titles and stuff, like for a thumbnail or something. But for the most part, I can get almost everything done in Capture One, which is really nice. This is a tasty photo. Have I said that 600 times yet? Here's what I want to do. I'm actually going to because of that highlight thing, I'm going to do a sun layer. I like to do this every once in a while where I basically draw a radial mask where the sun is, feather it way the heck out, and then I actually increase the exposure around it and usually kind of warm it up a little bit too, if it'll even let me with it that blown out. Maybe if I go to my color balance. So then it just like makes it look like it's even more kind of like blam. crop down a hair. And then the other thing that I want to do is I did a little vignette which looks cool on the bottom but is kind of annoying me on the top, so I'm gonna go back up, bring up the brightness of the sky a little bit. That person that keeps popping back in is messing with me. Could have just added a fire to the dumpster. How 2022 would that have been? I feel like I missed something in the chat. Okay. I'm gonna just warm this all up even a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more like kind of a pink. Oh, too much. Careful, Dunna, careful. Easy now, easy. Okay, now let's mess with our color balance a little bit here and see if we can get just a little bit of contrast going in our colors. Maybe a little bit of like kind of tealy blue in the shadows. Not too much. Just a touch. Actually, you know what? I want to do this on a new layer. What was this layer? This is why you gotta name your layers as you go. Okay, new layer, fill layer. I'm gonna call this grade. A little bit of that teal blue. And then in our highlights, some more orange, so you can never get enough. What if I did that the other way around? Let's mess things up here a little bit. No, I don't like it. Is there something I can do for the blown out part in the water? No, I don't think so. I think that's another issue that we're gonna run into here. But I can try, what the heck. Okay, so here are some kind of things that you can attempt to do. But you can see like even the lines on the parasail, is that what that is? Are like totally gone because of that blown out. But if we make a new layer and I brush over this area so that it's everything selected there, and then I go luma range and I try to just select just the highest, hottest parts. And then I hit good. So now I can mess with that stuff, but I brought back a little bit of it. It might just look unnatural. That's what I'm worried about. So like if I pull down the highlights there, or if I was to, as soon as you start to try and bring down exposure on anything like that, the white just turns to gray, rather than like, if you've still got a little bit of room in the highlights, you can pull it down. Like, I mean, a lot of the rest of the sky was like that too. When I pulled down the highlights, all of a sudden we could see the clouds and that kind of stuff. So but we can get a little bit of that detail back in the water there. See, like even in the before, you can see how kind of natural that fade is though. And now with the highlights pulled down there, it looks like a big square because you can obviously see where it was too clipped. So it's almost better to leave it soft and faded like that. And even like if we grab the luma range again and like kind of spread it out a little bit, you could even like bump up the exposure a little bit to fade that back out so it looks a little bit more similar to what it was to start with. I think I even like that better. I want wonder if I can do just the kind of like this a little bit with the curve. Okay. That's looking pretty cool. I don't know if I like that, like the blue in the shadows though on my grade. What happens if I go without the grade? It's like I almost just want more orange in the grade. Is that weird? I want all of the warm in all of the tones. It's like a sepia tone, old West times looking thing. It's just with the sun there, it just looks so nice and warm. All right. When I edited it, I blew it up and made it super bright. Yeah, so like that's the other way that you can go with that. If you have something like what I did with the sun is like if you have that area where it just like, you know, you had to choose whether you were gonna make it blown out in the highlights or you're gonna lose detail in the shadows. And so like I decided to edit it as if it was like a silhouette, but if you didn't want to, the thing that you can do is kind of blow it out a little extra hard in the highlight areas, and then you're good to go. We could even do another one of these if I like, if I make another layer mask here, and I call it subject, and we can go for a radial mask again here, and just like bump this up. I think we'll be able to get away with it. It even kind of brings up the exposure on our subject a little bit there, but like it also kind of makes it look a little bit more glowy, and it doesn't look unnatural because the original photo had a little bit of that going on. Yeah, that's cool. I dig that. So I think this is our before and after. Before and after. Okay, I lied. I gotta try one more thing. Let's go to the grade layer. I'm just gonna fade up the blacks just a little bit. And then I'm gonna throw some grain on it. Give it a little bit of a film look. Since we got like the blown out highlights and stuff like that, that actually kind of works with the film vibe. So now we have before and after. Odell says, props to the photographer on a dope pic and a saucy edit from Dunna. Saucy. This is that Valentina all warm vibes sauce. Yeah, this is a dope photo. The way I can't get over the way that the sun is like just peeking out there. That's still such a great shot. And like I said, like all that stuff about the highlights and stuff, that's just like a choice you have to make at the time. Is do you blow out the highlights or do you lose some stuff in the shadows? And like I think you made the right call here, blowing out those couple of spots, because it looks natural. It just takes a little bit if you want to try and kind of pull down the highlights in other sections. So I applaud, and hopefully if I was in the same situation, I would have made the same choice. No guarantees, because I sometimes don't drink enough coffee and my brain doesn't work. So who knows? Who knows what would have happened? We can only speculate. Thanks so much, Jared, for submitting the photo. That's awesome. Let's see. I'm gonna go through the chat here a little bit and see if I missed anything. Somebody calling me out. Oh, placebo. I answered that already. I'm not even that far behind on the chat. That was always That was always a problem in the live streams. Getting behind on the chat, getting behind on my coffee drinking now. And that's it. I'm done my coffee. I gotta move over to water for the last 20 minutes or so here. Jared says, yeah, that's dope. Thanks for showing me how you would edit. It's really awesome. I'm always interested afterwards. If you guys, anyone who I do your edit, I'll send you my version of the edit. And if you hit me with how you edited the photo, it's always cool to see how everybody does things a little bit different. All right, caffeinated, hydrated. Let's pick another photo. Thanks again to everyone who's come and hanging out here. We got 66 viewers in the chat right now. Hi from Kenya. It's 5:42 a.m. You're just getting up. It's definitely coffee time if it's 5:42 a.m. All right, let's pick another photo. Is anybody in the chat that submitted a photo? You know, if you're hanging out here, I wanna try and get to your stuff first. Did the drone ship? And why is your studio not a mess? Drone is shipping tomorrow. I apologize on the delay on that. I had a bunch of stuff that I was selling earlier this week, and I want to try and ship it all at once, so I got to get everything organized. But hopefully, I'll get it all out tomorrow. Danute. I apologize for saying your name probably completely wrong. Let's see if I can find your photo in here. There it is. Ooh. Wow, this is wild. That is some crazy aurora action going on there. Where was this taken? Oh, we got a bunch of stuff in here. A bunch of people saying that they submitted. Okay, I'll try and get to... We'll go speed round. How about that? I got 15 minutes left or so that I can do this before I lose my voice. This is a wild photo. This is cool. I don't do a lot of like nighttime editing or anything like that, so let's see how I do here. I'm going speed round. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. Alaska. Very cool. Let's pull some of the blues out of there because I feel like they're impeding the beautiful greens a little bit. And let's just bump the brightness on those colors. Oh! When I bump that brightness, anybody else get the chills there? Boom. No, just me. It's all good. This is crazy. It's not even that noisy. This is wild. Nature's crazy, you guys. Nature is absolutely so cool. What do you guys, okay, what do you think? Do we get rid of all the blue and like really let the aurora pop? Or do you leave in a little bit of the blue to like give it that like blue hour kind of vibe? Hey, Hey, this is an original jam. Dunna Did It. Yes, all these beats are my beats because I didn't know if I was allowed to use the libraries that I use for music in a live stream. So I decided to make a playlist of my own instrumentals that didn't get used for other things. Just go from there. Jeez. Okay. Destroy the blue, Kenneth says. Aurora pop, kill blue. You guys are vicious. Destroy the blue. It's the wrong vibe in the beats for that kind of angry energy. Let's see if we can clean this up a little bit. It's funny when I'm zoomed all the way out, it gives it this kind of funny texture. But I don't think the photo actually has that texture on it. I don't even know if you guys can see that in the stream. But okay, I said I was going speed round and I'm taking my time with this. Garumeg says, wait, you made all of these songs? They're very cool. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I am a music producer and recording engineer and have been for the past 15 or so years. Before I got into YouTube, that is what I've been doing with my life. I kind of want to crop in on this. I feel like the photo itself is like, it's just pushing the bottom here, and there's like some little stuff in the foreground, which is cool, but I feel like maybe we can get, like more of a detail kind of shot or something like that. Like right there. There we go. That's looking crazy. Okay. I said I was going to do speed round, and then I didn't. So I'm calling it at that. So before and after. That's wild. Beautiful shot. It looks like there's an explosion happening right here. That's nuts. I'm in love with this shot. Very cool. Is your music streamable? Sounds real good for working. No, it's not available anywhere because I am too lazy to release my own music. I have considered, and I mean, the OG watchers of the live streams will know that I talked about this a lot before. I have definitely considered trying to figure out how to make it so that you can like purchase my music to use in your videos, but I did like a ton of research and I couldn't find a like independent way to make that happen yet. So either I need to get hooked up with a music library that will accept my music, or I need to just, I don't know, do it on my site and do the honor system or something like that. Simple Outdoors, let's find that one. Where are we here? So much for my speed round. Simple Outdoors, there you are. Okay. I need to know, what does the sign say? What sign? Well, I haven't changed the sign in a long time, so it says all of time is happening at once. For those of you who have been trying to read that back there. It's just something that I like to remind myself every once in a while, that my concerns and my worries are tiny and I should just move on. Is that song really loud? It got really quiet all of a sudden. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let's see what we got here. What is going on? Is that like a sun flare or something like that? There's a big purple spot. Lens is doing funny things. This is a beautiful photo. I'm not gonna pull the highlights down too much. I like all that kind of orange energy that we got going on there, but I'm also gonna straighten this out a little bit. Is that? No, that didn't work. Let's try this. I'm gonna assume that spike is straight up and down. Oh, that didn't work at all. That looks very crooked now. Pick a vertical line, go with it. No. Is my monitor crooked or something like that? Something doesn't feel right. That feels a little better. I like the softness. Is it a long exposure? 8-second exposure. We got this nice soft kind of waves going on here. It must have been choppy that day. Okay. It's tough with this one because you could blast up the shadows here and try and get like an HDR kind of thing going on, but then it doesn't look super realistic. If you've watched my streams in the past, you've probably seen me do that a whole bunch before I knew better. But I think we can find a happy medium here. I want to get rid of some of the blue on this house. In fact, I think I can warm up the whole photo. There's a little too much green in the sky. So let's pink it up a little bit. We'll get a little bit more of what I assume is kind of a sunset vibe going on. Let's get rid of some blue. And what happens if I get rid of purple? Can I get rid of that spot on the mountain? That's such a funny little thing. It's like a lens flare or something that just was only in that one spot. Speaking of lens flares, let's make a fake lens flare. Why not? I'm gonna call it sun. I'm gonna make a big radial filter coming from the top left corner. Just gonna bring up the exposure a little bit and warm it up a whole bunch. Maybe not that much exposure. There we go. So I basically just did a radial filter that's only not touching the bottom right corner and then warmed it up and brightened it up. I use brightness instead of exposure though. And then I also want to brighten up my subject here a little bit. West Coast sunrise, better get used to him. Yeah, it's coming. It's not that far away now. Let's kind of do something like that. And then just bring up the shadows just a touch. Uh-oh, I'm getting the purple dot back. There. I think that's looking pretty good. So we got before. Oh, my computer's struggling. And after. Just like a really hot color sunrise. Love it. Fantastic photo. Thank you for submitting. I gotta remember to mark all the ones that I need to export. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, I think I have time to do one more time. Again, first of all, thank you all for coming out. And second of all, I'm going to try and do these more regularly again. I used to do them for a while. I'm going to try and do it again. So if I didn't get to you this time, there's always next time. Make sure you keep an eye on my Twitter and my Instagram and here on YouTube. That's kind of where I announce it. I usually try and give you a 3 or 4 days heads up before I'm going to do it. I'm trying to look at who else submitted. Mark got one in here. Let's see where Mark is. Mark. There you are. We got classic Niagara Falls. I think that's what this is. Yeah, it is. Okay. I don't think I'm going to crop this one. I think this is going to be one of those photos that if I crop it, I'm going to be missing something that I don't want to be missing. We're at f1.4. Jeez. That is shallow. What are we focused on here? Looks like we're focused on this building. $85.14. Okay. We got a nice kind of sunshine going on here. It's like part of me wants to make this look like Game of Thrones, like ice wall, blue, creepy, but the other part of me wants to kind of keep this beautiful kind of sunshine misty thing that we got going on. What do you guys think? Game of Thrones or beautiful sunshine? Let me know while I have a sip of water and groove to this track. Hey. Mark says, I just got the Sigma 85-1.4 and was goofing off. It's a beautiful composition. I probably wouldn't have shot it at 1.4, but I get the vibe that when you get a new lens, you want to mess around with it. Also, when you're shooting like landscapes, everything else is like reasonably in focus still because it's all so far away, but Game of Thrones. Got. Okay, I guess we're going for it. Let's see if I can make this look like the ice wall from Game of Thrones. First of all, let's make it all cooler. And then I actually have to back off the coolness of it. More importantly, I need to back off all the other colors. Anyone recognize this tune? This is my new intro music. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the advanced color editor. I selected a certain blue that was like a little bit more saturated than some of the stuff in the middle of the water. And then I only selected the kind of more saturated colors. And then I'm going to desaturate it a little bit so that it's not overpowering the rest of it. So we've got like a nearly black and white photo, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in on a grading layer. I'm going to fill that in so we got the whole mask. And then I'm going to add some blues back in that are kind of a little bit more like all-encompassing and uniform. So we can get a bit of a more kind of like color grady kind of vibe. And I might actually do a bit of like a teal and orange kind of thing going on. Just a little bit of orange in the midtones, and then in the highlights I'm going to add more blue. Just so that we got some separation, but like not too much. If we had skin tones in here, I could really do the Game of Thrones thing where like those pop out, but save that for a video color grading. And then let's just add a little bit of like grit to this, maybe with some clarity. A little bit of structure. What happens if I crank this up? Oh, I see. Maybe the focus was over here too, and this just happened to be the same distance from it. So this is kind of cool. So I'm going to vignette the heck out of this. But then I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to draw a little radial filter over this, whatever this thing is down here, this little platform. I'm just going to bring it up a little bit, like it's like this kind of hidden thing. There are all these people up here, but they don't know about the like secret platform. It's mysterious and cinematic. Hey. Leon says, I like your soundtracks. Thanks. I made them all. Hey. Oh, I guess if you're talking about like my videos and stuff, I didn't make them all, but today, all the music that you're listening to, I made. I probably said that too many times. Is it? I can't tell if my monitor is crooked or if this is not quite straight. Did that make it better or worse? All right, I think that one's done. So we got before and after. Creepy Game of Thrones, cinematic, cool vibes. You know what this needs though? Okay, I'm not done. I lied. I thought I was done, but I'm not done. It needs a bunch of sharpening. And then some grain. Just for overkill. Let's do some noise reduction too. There we go. So, before and after. That's vibey. I like it. All right, my friends, I want to say another huge thank you to all of you for coming out here and hanging out with me while I did all these edits. There are going to be more. I know I didn't get to everybody who submitted, but there are going to be more. Make sure you follow me over on Instagram at Dunna Did It, and follow me over on Twitter at Dunna Did It as well. And keep an eye on my community page here, because I do try to announce these a couple of days in advance with the link where you can submit and that kind of stuff. And there'll be many more. I really want to get back into this, and I appreciate that no one gave me too hard of a time for stopping doing it. So again, huge thank you to everyone who submitted and everyone who came and hung out for the live stream. We've got 48 people here left at the end that stuck through, and I'm so thankful for all of you, and I can't wait for the next one. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Secure the cup.